Hello, my name is Guillermo Escobar. I'm the program director for Emory University's vascular surgery programs. As you all know, COVID has disrupted everything we know and love. And among other things are the ability for people to visit our campus and experience what it's like to train at Emory's vascular surgery programs. We routinely would have multiple medical students in our different campuses. We would have visiting general surgery residents from all over the country and all over the world. However, this year is different, and as such, we were left with, what do we do? How do we let people come and visit with us? So as such, we thought of different things and doing some sort of fancy, edited, recorded little snippet thing. But what I really wanted to do is give you an actual personal touch, an actual sort of live interaction with our trainees and what it's like to be in our different sites. So we created a virtual visit for you to visit with us. And this was live recorded. And what I was trying to do is try to capture what it'd be like to do a virtual visit. So as I felt terrible for not being able to have students in residence here, the question is, how can I make it like a rotation? And the idea of having a rotation here with a big group on Zoom and seeing, and nobody could really talk at the same time, it just wouldn't be meaningful as a rotation. And I know that some institutions did it successfully, and they had multiple cameras and showing people sewing and operating and different things, but I didn't think that I could really do that in a way that would really capture the flavor of this program. So then I wondered, well, what is it that you would actually get out of a rotation other than seeing patients, right? Because I can't walk around with a camera with HIPAA violations as a possibility, and you can't actually come in and operate and learn how to do things and how we do it at Emory. So what is it that you would get if you were to come out here? And the only thing I could think of other than operating on people is you get to learn about the faculty. You'd have access to talk to the residents and fellows and kind of see how they think and act and feel and interact with the faculty. You'd get to visit at least one of the hospitals, and maybe even more than that, depending on what kind of rotation you were on. And you'd get a feel for the culture and the fit. You'd also get an experience of Atlanta. You'd be living and running around and driving and stuff. So the question is, can we really do it on Zoom? And the reality is, I don't know, but I'm going to try. So here we go. I'm going to start talking first about Emory. Emory University is universally established as a destination for education. We are, from a college perspective, Emory's considered in the top 20 of the entire country from a sort of objective rating perspective. And the medical school is considered also one of the top 10 in the country. So Emory, as far as education, is pretty well established. In fact, we even made it to Jeopardy. Notice the beginning of the stem is famed for its healthcare system and medical school. It also sold 15 acres for $10 in 1947 to build the CDC. So Emory is on Jeopardy, so we made it. Somebody asked, what is the culture at Emory? And I'm going to start by something that's absolutely critical that all of you know as you start heading out here, is that at Emory we believe that diversity is what makes us stronger. We support all people, no matter what you look like, no matter where you're from, and no matter what you believe. And we believe, as an entire Emory system, that diverse and inclusive and creative environment that welcomes everyone. And it's something that has become to the forefront of society lately, but it should have been a long time ago. But once you look around the campus, you'll notice that we truly believe this. So what makes Emory special, per se? Emory is actually a pioneer in vascular surgery education. And since its inception, it was one of the very first places in the country that actually took general surgeons and subspecialty trained them into vascular surgery. And in fact, Dr. Elkin, who was the chair of surgery in 1930, published, among other things, a nice JAMA article in 1946 about exposure of vessels that were historically and actually currently very difficult to get to. And the three most important descriptions that he added was the transclavicular subclavian artery exposure. The subclavian artery is really, really hard to get to, particularly right in the sort of middle third. And he said, let's just take the clavicle out. And one of the other things is the V2 segment of the vertebral artery, which is where it goes to the foramen and transversarium. That particular exposure, nobody really knows, probably to this day, how to do that really well. And then finally, he championed the idea of using the lazy S incision behind the knee, with a picture showing a scarred and beat up posterior popliteal segment from a vertical incision. This was followed by Dr. Perdue, and Dr. Perdue was actually the first to start the Emory Vascular Surgery Training Program in 1969. And it was one of the first in the world focusing just on a special time after general surgery to do vascular surgery. And during this period of time in the 80s, late 70s and early 80s, there was a lot of interest in doing this, but the American Board of Surgery and the Society for Vascular Surgery didn't really know, how many cases do you need? And what else do you need to do? And what are the guidelines for training? And in 1984, when all of this was settled out, Emory was one of the first programs in the country approved by the RRC or ACGME. And in 1985, because it was a one-year fellowship at the time, we graduated one of the first American Board of Surgery vascular surgeons in the nation. When I came in March in 2017, we didn't have a residency, and I got approval with a lot of help from a lot of people to get our vascular surgery residency approved. And in 2019, we were approved for our early specialization program, which is where you do 4 years of general surgery and 2 years of vascular instead of 5 and 2. And as of 2020, we are one of 2 programs in the country have all 3 vascular surgery training paradigms. A lot of places have a fellowship, a lot of places have a residency, a few have both, but only one other program to my knowledge has an ESP as well. So if you do the math, if we started in 1969 and all the way to 2019, we graduated this year. Our 2 fellows marks our 50th anniversary of vascular surgery training, and once again, we're one of the few in the country that can say that. So the next question is, well, where do we go for our training? Well, most of you will know, we go to Grady, which is our county general hospital. We go to private hospitals, such as Emory St. Joseph's in Midtown. We go to the Veterans Affairs Hospital. We go to the University Hospital style, which is obviously the Emory University. And we also have research years. So we're going to do a little bit of this. This is where you are right now, virtually at Atlanta. And if we zoom in a little bit, whoops, that animation didn't work. This is a distribution of our 4 classic hospitals. And then we just this year started the rotation to Midtown Hospital. This is a sort of an aerial view. Notice all the greenness that you have there. Grady Memorial is a nearly 1,000-bed hospital, well known for its trauma center, has a unique history. It's one of the first racially integrated hospitals in the United States. 6th busiest emergency department. You'll get uncommon exposure to vascular trauma, in addition to just classic sort of vascular experience. We got a new hybrid suite, got a brand new hospital floor. 25% of doctors in Georgia are said to have gotten some of their training at Grady, and over 300 million in indigent care. It is led by these 3 individuals, and with any luck, we'll get a glimpse of Dr. Ramos, who's a graduate from our program. Emory St. Joseph's is a private practice hospital, 400 beds, 3 physician extenders, independent vascular lab, number 2 in Georgia. And it's a research site for many things, including a transcervical carotid stenting. And this has a brand new hybrid suite in 2020. A long faculty list here. Notice at the very bottom right, our very own Dr. Chang, a graduate from the 50th anniversary that you saw earlier. The VA hospital is a nearly 500-bed hospital, has a really cool robotic Siemens Zigo in the hybrid room. You get a lot of independent practice. And Dr. Brewster is not only the chief of vascular, but he's a fully funded NIH basic scientist, which gives you another opportunity that's interesting. Dr. Salam is emeritus, but he has a little footprint still at the VA. Dr. Brewster, Alavi, and also Dr. Mahajan, which you'll see shortly, are the anchors at that hospital. Our Midtown Hospital is also a 500-bed, sort of a private practice, but acute care teaching hospital. It has over 1,400 Emory faculty and tons of bread and butter cases. This is a nice place. You'll see Dr. Masabni will probably be in the physician's lounge eating a bonbon or something right now when he gives us that tour. This is staffed by 3 fantastic surgeons, Dr. Miller, Liang, and Teodorescu. Dr. Teodorescu is the Associate Program Director. Emory University has over 750 beds, including almost 100 ICU beds. We have over 24,000 inpatient admissions per year. We have 2 separate hybrid suites there, a biplane and a monoplane. And it's our primary investigational center for new endovascular technology. It's run by Dr. Jordan, Dodson, Duwary, myself, and Dr. Mahajan.
we are the sort of anchors at this hospital. There's also research and non-surgical rotations, which is one of the questions you had. There's a general surgery rotation that's distributed over 3 years, the 18 months required. There's also optional research years. Dr. Mina will be talking a little bit about that. He's there currently for his clinical research year. And we also have elective rotations, which are unique, I believe, to Emory, which include a venous outpatient rotation, the vascular lab, stroke neurology, cardiac ICU, among others. But who's giving the tour? Who really cares? Well, our current fellows include Shayna, Khalil, Amanda, and Ronald. The top row are our second-year fellows, and the bottom row are our first-year fellows. Our current residents include Karthik, Dylan, Anthony, and Gally, which range between PGY1 and PGY5 chronologically, but they started in different levels in different places. And Dr. Mina is currently in his research year, so he'll be PGY3 for yet another year. So now that you know what's going on, let's go to Grady with Dylan, who's currently on an elective for stroke neurology. So Dylan, will you take it away?
Hey there, I'm Dylan. I'm a second-year vascular surgery resident at Emory. I'm currently on a neurology elective at Grady where I'm working with the stroke service. It's been a lot of fun getting to see the new neuroimaging modalities, such as putting the TCDs into practice, as well as practicing and refining my neurology physical exam skills. I wanted to take a second to show you guys Grady in our new hybrid OR here at OR 20. We're in the control room right now, and behind me is the OR. And fortunately, we have a Dr. Christopher Ramos, who is a graduate from our fellowship program and attending here at Grady.
Okay. So I'm Dr. Ramos. I'm one of the 3 faculty here at Grady. We are fortunate to have a great patient population here. We have a lot of critical limb ischemia that we take care of. A lot of diabetics, a lot of smokers. Additionally, we probably have one of the highest left thoracic aortic injury volumes in the country. So we do a lot of T-bars for those. Additionally, we also have one of the highest penetrating trauma volumes with a lot of arterial injuries. We do most of the repairs here. Our trauma surgeons do call us in at all times. So all those experiences would obviously be shared with you. And we look forward to having you here at Grady.
Thank you, Dr. Ramos. And then we'll show you a little bit of the OR. Let's step in.
That's okay.
Hey, Kay. And here we're in the hybrid room in Grady. One of the great parts about Grady and the Emory program in general is working with all of our different colleagues and specialties. I've really enjoyed getting to know the neurology service here on this rotation, and the different trauma teams at Grady. Has been a lot of fun. Please reach out to me if you guys have any questions at all. I will give you our emails and contact numbers, and I'm happy to talk to you guys about the Emory program, living in Atlanta, and what my experience has been. It's been fantastic, and I'm happy to sit down with anybody to talk a little further.
Great. Dylan, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
So now we'll swing out to St. Joseph's, where Karthik and Gally are. There's Gally. You're up.
Good morning. Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, wide open. Go ahead.
I'm Gally. I'm here with our PGY1, Karthik, who is socially distancing from me over there at in the other chair. So I'm going to ask him a few questions and try to get a feel of what he likes the most about St. Joe's and being at Emory. So Karthik, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where are you from?
Yeah, so my name is Karthik. I'm from Georgia, actually from Johns Creek, Georgia. I went to medical school at Norfolk, Virginia, Eastern Virginia Medical School. I did my away rotation here at Emory last year, and I love the program, and I'm very happy to have been able to match here at Emory.
So I know that you have a kind of an interesting story about kind of what prompted you to become a vascular surgeon. So can you tell us a bit about that?
One of the attendings here at Emory St. Joseph's, Dr. Zarge, was my grandma's vascular surgeon way back in the day for dialysis access. And that's how I got interested in medicine and vascular surgery. So it was very cool actually getting to meet Dr. Zarge during my interview experience and telling him about all that. And it's amazing now that I get to actually work with him. I get to be first assist for his cases here, so it's quite the experience.
Why don't you tell us a bit about St. Joe's?
Hey guys.
That's Dr. Middleton Chang,
You guys talking to the applicants?
who's not
Yeah.
socially distancing from Karthik, but is wearing a mask.
I have my mask. Here, I just brought you guys some coffees. Make sure you're okay.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Life going okay?
Nothing to do with this.
Good.
Photo op.
Yeah. Sorry. Follow up.
All right.
We're saying one chairman apart.
One chair apart. I was just asking Karthik what his favorite thing about this rotation
Oh,
was.
please go on.
Yeah.
Tell me about
So-
my rotation.
Your rotation. So the best part about I think St.
So
Joseph,
menacing.
there's a high operative experience for the residents. So here it's just Gally and me and we're the residents running the service, but I get to do a lot of cases with the attendings. I get to help learn endovascular skills as a first assist. So this is quite the experience just in my third month of residency.
Go ahead, sorry. All right. So what I guess you're an Atlanta native, more or less. So why don't you, I guess, tell the med students what your favorite thing about Atlanta is?
So unfortunately, I'm an Atlanta sports fan as well. So I love the Falcons and all the teams, regardless of how poorly they play. I went to University of
A
Georgia.
true, genuine sports
Yeah.
fan then.
I went to University of Georgia for undergrad, so I'm a huge Bulldog fan and everything related to Georgia football. That's life in the fall. So in 2 weeks we get to start playing, so that's fun.
Are we playing actually, or
We're
are we
playing in
still?
2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Usually actually plays Arkansas in 2 weeks.
What?
Yeah. So
Oh, it's on.
that'll be fun. But yeah, so in Atlanta, and there's a lot of neighborhoods. There's a lot of diversity here. There's so much to do, and it's always fun. Whenever I get free time on weekends, I get to explore new things that I haven't even seen about Atlanta.
I think I get to turn this around on Dr. Kaitakova
Oh, no.
now and see what she loves about the Emory University Vascular Surgery program.
Well, I love the people, Dr. Chang. The attendings are the best. But genuinely, I like the people the most. I think we have a really nice family here. We're friends with the scrub techs, we're friends with the attending surgeons. We have kind of a very good community. That's nice to live in.
What do you like about Atlanta? So, because you came from Little Rock, right?
I did. Well, not the traffic, but I really like.
Currently, that's not that bad.
It's not that bad right now. That's true. There's a lot of great food. There's a lot of the kind of art things that you can do, which I enjoy. So that's kind of nice. All the, we get Broadway shows, things like that we don't normally get. We wouldn't have gotten in Little Rock, so I think I appreciate that the most.
Yeah, and since I don't know how to work this Microsoft technology, so I totally agree with both of them here that as a recent graduate, I'm backing up for people. Right. As a recent graduate, I honestly don't think you can find another vascular surgery program in the country where you will get the same level of exposure to 15 vascular surgeons.
More. It's more now. It's got to be
More
like
now?
20
It's
at
probably
least
more
because we
now.
added Midtown and
Yeah, a variety of different training techniques. And that's just the clinical practice. Then there's researchers at each site as well, funded basic science research, clinical research, and whatever you want. And then you get to come live in one of America's greatest cities. Except for the Falcons.
except for the Falcons.
All right.
All right. Is there anything you'd like to share about St. Joe's as an institution, Karthik?
They have really good food. It's free food. Lunch every day is free, so that's quite an amazing thing.
Oh, the gym. Did you guys sign up for the gym?
We did sign up.
We did
there's
sign up
actually
for
a
the gym.
behind us over there. We signed up for it yesterday, so I'm on
Yeah.
call this weekend. So I may go to the gym, and get a workout in. Be nice.
Personal training sessions right now are not available,
I know,
unfortunately.
but
Well, the best thing about St. Joe's is the ice cream fridge. I'm just gonna throw that in there. I feel like that's my say. All
I
right.
love it. The ice cream fridge and the workout gym. That's why you need to come to Emory. So Our next stop would be the VA. I'm looking for Amanda. Is Amanda out there? If not,
Amanda's still doing an emerging case with Dr. Gurdon this morning.
good. See, there you go. See, we actually work here too. We don't just hang out with you guys. All right, well then we'll skip over to Dr. Masabni. Khalil, I hope the ice cream fridge at Midtown is serving you well. Are you there? There you are.
Hi there. So I'm Khalil Masabni. I'm the second year fellow here at Emory. I came from Detroit where I did my general surgery residency. And currently I'm in Midtown. It's actually one of the new rotations that has been added here at Emory. And it's actually a great experience. It's my 15th day. I hope we can actually extend it more than a month, maybe 2 or 3. Here, first of all, we have a good variety of attendings. Dr. Miller is very well experienced in vascular surgery. He's been doing it for 20 to 25 years, but also very approachable, and he knows a lot about private practice. So if you're interested in private practice, he will teach you a lot about what to do, what to look for. Then we have Dr. T, who's our associate program director, who's also awesome. She loves teaching. And she loves ultrasound. So if you have any questions about ultrasound, she's the person to go to. And then finally, we have Dr. Liang, who is, she just graduated from Indiana. She did her integrated residency there. And she is also a great teacher. She loves to teach. And she's also a good person to chat with and ask her about, I'm trying to do my RPVI exam soon. So she has all the knowledge and information that or you will need to ask, as she's a recent graduate from her training. So that's a good thing. The other thing is here, we do a lot of bread and butter vascular surgery cases. I was actually talking to one of my colleagues from Henry Ford. He recently graduated from vascular surgery fellowship. I was telling him how many cases I've been doing here in terms of AV fistulas and grafts. He was telling me, yeah, man, I know how to do open aortic repair from skin to skin. I'm not sure if I can, if I've done enough AV grafts or AV fistulas to do them. I mean, obviously he'll be able to do them, but he might not be as efficient or expert in the creation of those fistulas. The last thing I want to talk to you about is the team here is great. They all treat us here at Midtown as colleagues. We often have lunch and breakfast together. We take breaks together. Things are great here. So I'm enjoying my time, and I wish Dr. Escobar can add, 2 more months for me here.
So Khalil, let me ask you something. You brought up aortic versus fistulas. Do you get to do aortas at Emory?
At Emory, we do a lot of aortic pathology and aortic surgery. We're actually very lucky to have all the attendings we have at EUH, where they're all experts in aortic disease. Mostly aortic pathology we'll be doing at EUH. Here at Midtown, as we said, we do mostly bread and butter surgery. So in this program, you will get a very good balanced training, where if you want to go to a big academic center, you'll be comfortable doing open and endovascular aortic repair from day one. And if you want to go to a private practice where you want to be efficient and fast and make RVUs, then this is the place where you can learn as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Khalil. Will you pan around to show us what's behind you? I see it looks like, is that trees?
So I'm actually here, I'm at the main entrance here at the hospital and also the cafeteria. So here, as we see, we have the main entrance. It's pretty lively and awesome. And here is where people come in. Obviously, people are, socially distant. We do have the surgeon's lounge or the doctor's lounge that we get access to, but it was empty, so I thought I want to be somewhere that's more active, as surgeons started their cases already today. So this is what Midtown is.
Cool. Thank you very much. We will now switch to Shayna and Ronald, who are fellows at the university program. Shayna, you are end.
Hello, so I'm Shayna Brathwaite. I'm one of the second year vascular fellows. I'm currently on my rotation over at UH. This is the location where we probably get the most of our complex cases that we've been talking about. I'm actually sitting in our hybrid OR right now, which I can show you here. And we're lucky enough to have a little cameo by all of our IR techs. That's Edwin, Denise, and Bill. And they are IR techs that we spend a lot of time with in the hybrid room. They are a great educational source for us and also just fun people to work with, which is also one of the benefits of being at UH. I'll say that the first time you walk into this hybrid OR, it can seem very overwhelming, trying to figure out how to learn the machine, learn all the devices. But given the constant complexity that we have here at UH, after just several months, this room becomes your home away from home, and you will soon find yourself to be an expert on these things very quickly. And that's definitely part of the reason why I chose Emory as some place where I wanted to go for my fellowship.
What do you think stands out when you were interviewing between coming to Emory or other places? What just from an interviewee perspective, what made you think of here over some of the others?
I think there were several things. One, I really liked the diversity of training that we get here. So when you're at UH, you will get the most complex, the rare, all the zebras, the open aortas, and there's no shortage of that here. And then with the other places, you also get some of the bread and butter, dialysis access, lower extremity bypass. We're also very well trained on the open and endo side, which I found that in some programs as I went across the country, they are very strong in one area and sometimes not in both. But I find here that we are very strong in both. I think similarly, there is a great diversity of attendings, meaning from junior, fresh out of fellowship attendings to mid-career to senior attendings. And I think that provides a sort of wide array of experience in vascular surgery. So I think that's important to have. I think the trainees also seemed to like each other and seem bonded, which I think is an important thing because as trainees, we work together a lot for the 2 years and for 5 years as integrated residents. So it's important to have a good community, which I think we have here.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Shayna. Ronald, also our first year fellow, will you take it away?
Hi, good morning. My name is Ronald Chang, one of the first year vascular fellows over here at Emory. I came from Houston, did my general surgery residency at UT, University of Texas. Let's see, right now I'm standing in the new tower building, which is one of the newer buildings at the hospital and has a really great view. I actually don't really come here that often, but you can see like the CDC's out there. You can see downtown way in the distance and some nice forest. When I came to Atlanta, I hadn't really, the first time I came to Atlanta was actually for the interview. And, really liked the city, really nice that there are like, trees everywhere as opposed to Houston, which is just flat and concrete. So right now I'm doing my rotation at the University Hospital. This is the only rotation I've done. It's the first year fellow I've been here. This is, I'm going to spend 3 months here from July to the end of September. Currently working on Team 1, whereas Shayna's on Team 2. Some things I really enjoy here are, I really appreciate the great mentorship from the attendings and the staff, really able to discuss, cases with them, their approaches. Everyone does something a little bit differently, so you can kind of, as I grow into a, independent vascular surgeon, I can already kind of pick and choose aspects of what I like and how to, set up cases and approach cases. In terms of case complexity, for some reason, I was on call this weekend, and in the last 4 or maybe 5 days, I'm going to have 4 acute mesenteric ischemia cases, and all of them are getting treated. All of the approaches for each one are all kind of different, actually. So I think I'm going to be really well trained in acute mesenteric ischemia, as I know 4 different ways to approach this problem.
I heard you did a retrograde approach.
Right, yeah. That was interesting. That patient is pretty complicated because that patient had a previous explant of an infected aortic graft, and their aorta is actually disconnected. His lower extremities are being fed by an AX5M, and then his visceral anatomy is being supplied by bypasses from a proximal aortic stump to the celiac, SMA, and both renals. So his SMA went down. His SMA bypass and the SMA went down, presented, and we had to take him emergently over the weekend. And in conjunction with general surgery, opened up his abdomen, got to his SMA, and initially did thrombectomy up and down, did not get optimal flow, so brought in a C-arm and under fluoroscopy, passed a wire retrograde up the SMA across the anastomosis into the bypass, into the aorta, and used the over-the-wire balloon to thrombectomize it further and got, opened up everything.
That is awesome. That's your attending's nightmare and the trainee's dream.
Yeah,
great.
Exactly.
All right.
Hey, can I steal the camera for a second because I'm feeling jealous that everyone else has showed off their hybrid room?
All right, hang on. Have at it.
All right, they're getting ready for a not vascular case, which is everyone's chagrin, but here's our fancy Siemens Phenom system. So every training site has a hybrid suite now. It's amazing. But yes.
That looks really cool.
Emory St. Joseph's, we also have our giant robot arm X-ray machine.
I'm gonna have to pull a Jordan, and if I can't get a case done here, I'm just gonna say I'll transfer to St. Joe's just to use that machine.
You gotta bring it here and just use the machine. The screens are impeccable. The radiation is, it's like you're not even using it. It's crazy.
It's like transfer fistulogram. Can't get it on the board? Perfect. Transfer to St. Joe's.
Bring it to St. Joe's. We'll do it here.
That's awesome. Thanks, Middleton.
No problem.
Next, Dr. Mina. He's doing his
everybody.
research. There he is.
So I wanted to show you a little bit of life outside the hospital. So I'm in beautiful Piedmont Park here in Midtown Atlanta. It's one of the many unique neighborhoods in Atlanta. I'm sorry if it's a little windy. I think we're going to get rain in a little bit. So, and they're mowing grass in the distance, but we thought we'd give it a shot and show you a little bit of a beautiful park in the center of Atlanta. So I'm currently doing research. It's optional at this point. There were bench opportunities for basic science as well as clinical research. I'm interested more in the clinical research side of things, and I'm interested in pursuing a career in academic medicine as of now. And so I worked with Dr. Escobar to help create this one-year research sabbatical where I'm able to kind of pick my own projects based on my personal interests, including disparities in access to healthcare as well as outcomes, and as well as social determinants of health. So we're doing some COVID projects and starting some CKD projects as well. Ultimately, it's been an amazing year. I've been working mainly at the VA and a little bit at EUH, and working with multiple attendings throughout the process. So it's been a lot of great mentorship. Dr. Brewster has a lab at Emory and at the VA. He has R series grants and K awards. And so if you're interested in basic science, as I know some of our other trainees are, you can have the opportunity to do a traditional 2 years with him in the lab. He has more IRBs than you could possibly imagine. And so really anything you're interested in, he can help you hone your research skills on. He also works with some general surgery residents too, if they're interested in vascular surgery. And so you also get a lot of dynamic collaboration with the general surgery division too, which has been fantastic. Just to make sure we're not too rusty coming out of third year, I've been able to kind of set up a clinical component to the year as well, where I take some call at the VA, as well as maybe work a little bit on rotation. So I'm really excited to kind of keep up my clinical work at the same time as doing some really awesome research. Regarding kind of life outside of Atlanta, the hospital as well, I just wanted to touch a little bit on Atlanta. I came from Louisville, Kentucky originally, and then went to college up at Notre Dame, which we have already started playing football, Karthik. But it's Atlanta's fantastic. I came here for medical school, kind of started the program as the first intern, and couldn't be happier to stay in Atlanta. Like I said, there are a lot of really unique cities around around Atlanta. Midtown is where I live, and that's where Midtown Piedmont Park is. But I know residents who live all around the city. There's great food, like Gally mentioned. There's hiking just a couple hours away or within the city itself. And there's even things like vineyards that are close by. You can get to the beach within 3 to 4 hours. It's really awesome. And during a non-pandemic, regular time of year, having Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in Atlanta is really clutch. It's nice to be able to get anywhere you want to pretty easily. So yeah, that's third year for me. And then next year will be my clinical third year. And that's about it from Piedmont Park.
I like it, reporting live from Piedmont Park. So Anthony, you were the true intern, the first resident, and you were also a Emory Medical School graduate. After interviewing all over the place, what made you actually, if you will, stay here or say, I'm going to do this rather than go somewhere else to sort of an older program?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to see, a lot of programs around the country, and at first I was really interested in staying at Emory, but was still very open to going elsewhere. Like Shayna mentioned, the breadth of cases was something that was really important to me. In this day and age, I think it's very, very easy to be a good endovascular surgeon, but it can be tougher to get open experience. And I thought here at Emory, you could get really good open and endovascular cases. Additionally, I liked the city. I liked working with the faculty. And I think, as Shayna also mentioned, and Gally, the people you work with, I think, is probably the most important thing. I had formed a few relationships as a medical student with some of the faculty and some of the fellows, but I think the opportunity to work so well with the general surgery program, to just have people from all different fields be so collaborative and interact with one another, it really makes you feel like you're a family, and that really set Emory apart for me.
Cool. All right. Thank you very much. So Amanda is still saving lives and limbs from what I can tell. So we will switch on to the second portion. 1 second. All right. Move you guys out of the way. All right. So welcome back. So after that whirlwind tour, what else would you get if you were doing your rotation here? Well, I'm going to answer some of the questions that were sent through the sign-up thing. Regarding international graduates, yes, we are IMG friendly. In fact, I am an IMG. I'm an international graduate. The way I look at applications, I read all the applications that come in on time. Don't apply late, because otherwise I can't guarantee this. I can't, log in every other day and keep reading them. So send your application in early, and it doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, what you look like, where you trained, I don't care. In fact, I currently have one international graduate right now, and randomly 2 of our future fellows are also international graduates. So yes, we are friendly. You will have to be eligible at the time of the closure of the rank list. One of the things that is going on right now, of course, with the whole step 2 thing and the limitations are that you can't take step 2, so you can't get your ECFMG. You're gonna have to go to the ECFMG website and see what kind of pathways you can do, because if you can't get a medical license in the United States, you can't be a resident. So get everything done. So as far as some of the other details, like on schedules, cases, and things like that, I got to do that in the interview. I mean, I got to have something left over. This is just your virtual visit. I'm not going to go through absolutely everything. So continuing with what is the culture? At Emory, we strive for excellence in academics. We will have you presenting your research all over in different places. This was from our Georgia Vascular meeting that was held this weekend. We highly encourage you and expect you to present your research. Some places are like, well, how many meetings can I go to, or how much money do I have per year? Until proven otherwise, I don't limit you. I find a way to get you wherever it is that you're going. And you'll get to go with our faculty to meetings all over the country. Here, Dr. Kaitakova is getting off her plane at Vail, where she presented at the Four Seasons. So you never know where you might end up going. Now, just like Kaitakova, if there's a resident competition, don't be surprised if you win. We enjoy seeing our graduates hold up trophies all over the place. And if we don't have it, I'll find it. You'll find it, show it to me, and we'll get it for you. So I often send you guys to, traditionally to the boot camp at Methodist. You get to work with cadavers and you get to work with some of the simulators in an intense fashion. Here, Dylan went over out there, and lo and behold, there were Emory scrubs in Houston. So Emory is everywhere, even though Houston doesn't really know, we're in there too. We believe in working really hard. Vascular surgery patients are the sickest, most complex in the hospital. Vascular surgery decision making is one of the most difficult. You know, do you go endo, do you go open, do you go hybrid, do you go medical? Just like Ronald was saying, our mistakes in vascular surgery change lives, but successes transform lives. And in order to succeed, you really have to work really hard. And we do all aspects of vascular surgery. You've heard a little snippets here and there of what we do as far as the open and endo. So somebody asked, well, do you get to do open surgery? I mean, yeah, absolutely. We have 21 faculty in 5 different sites. You'll get to see open cases, thoracoabdominals with hybrid technology on the side. We do open exposures to deliver thoracoabdominals. We're one of the few sites in the country that has access to branch devices such as this one, which is the TANV, the Gore 4-vessel thoracoabdominal graft. And we expect you to be independent. Here's Dr. Ramos alone, so I got to take the picture, working hard. And there's Middleton and I doing an infected thoracoabdominal with a rifampin soaked graft. Here's another way that we do things. This is a NACE. That's a femoral vein reconstruction for infected grafts. And you've already heard you also get to do axe bifem. So there is no biases here. We basically tailor our approaches to our patients. We teach vascular surgery with a passion. This endovascular simulation was set up by Dr. Alabi at the VA. She brought in different simulators, all sorts of different brands, different things. We teach medical students. Computer's tired. In fact, we are asked to teach all over the country. I go different places. This is St. Louis, cadaver training, different places is Houston, using hybrid cadaver stuff. And the computer remains tired. And we also get invited to teach all over the world. Dr. Benaroch and I in France, Mexico, Charing Cross in London, Mexico again. And sometimes we're so sought after that here's Dr. Brewster sitting. He gets to be on the podium while not even being on the podium. We believe that teamwork and collegiality gets the best results for all we do. It's hard enough to do what we do. We try to have fun whenever we can. We have fun at work, team lunches. There's a girl power females in vascular that we have right now. We have 2 more women that are joining us next year. Dr. DeWary in the clinic. I don't know why there's 2 seniors in the room. I'm usually abandoned by myself because the boss and all these other people. We high five in the OR, carefully, sterilely, from a distance. Here's a fellow in my clinic. I don't know what that means. Usually fellows are hiding from clinic. We also believe in having fun outside. We enjoy our times, sometimes even a little karaoke every once in a while. We play soccer, and on the top left, that was our celebration when we got the vascular residency approved. We went to medieval times, something to do. But what about Atlanta? Atlanta has so many things to do. Aquarium, the arts. It has one of the largest arts different museums and things in the country. As far as travel, Delta rocks. It'll take you all over the world. The aquarium, the Braves, Six Flags, Olympic Park, and Atlanta United. Currently, we're not talking too much about Atlanta United, just like we're not talking about the football teams. We're just going to lay low a little bit on that. But as far as what's it like to be here, don't take my word for it. Let me do that one more time. For some reason, this glitches out, but if I do this, for some reason, it works. That's weird. Hang on. Let's try that again. Oh, it's such a shame. I'll try one more time.
Atlanta is a phoenix.
All right, I'll do it this way. Make sure the screen sharing is on. Can you guys see the take my word for it?
We can.
Okay, here we go.
Atlanta is a phoenix. From a city that literally rose from the ashes to a city that changed the course of our great nation. That's part of our DNA. Welcome to Atlanta, a modern kaleidoscope of creativity and industry, fueled by the new American mainstream, a melting pot of lifestyles, diversity, and communities united in the spirit of respect for all.
We are cultural influence because it translates.
Our chemistry is the breeding ground for curiosity, creating a culture of tastemakers and leaders at the forefront of art and tech. But to be at the leading edge, you need to be at the center of it all, and in good hands. In addition to boasting an amazing outdoor scene, Atlanta has the largest tree canopy in the nation, anchored by the new Beltline running through the core of our modern city. We attract and nurture artists who impact culture on a global scale and disrupted the entire entertainment industry. The South got something to say. Defying expectations, we have even surpassed Hollywood itself.
This ain't that kind of movie.
A city booming with startups and the workforce of the future. But it's no secret. Many Fortune 500 companies have already made it their home. Atlanta has even earned the nickname Transaction Alley.
Atlanta's what's next, Atlanta's what's coming up, and Atlanta is the future.
Always looking for the opportunity of tomorrow, our history has taught us to be fearless, to invent and make room for the new. Atlanta isn't up and coming. It's here, it's now, it's next. Let's show the world we are Atlanta.
So thank you all for virtually dropping by. Next time, I think we'll do it from a little desk at the SVS, but this is what you get for now. I'd like to thank all of my trainees. Without you guys, obviously we couldn't do this. I can sit here and do PowerPoints, but that's nowhere near as interesting. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Please take a bow. And that was fun. Should we do it again? I would say no, thank you. So I'll stop sharing. Well, thanks very much for joining us, and I hope you were able to get a nice overview of what's going on. There's a few questions in the chat. Let me see. Are you able to moonlight? I generally don't allow moonlighting, being that I think you spend enough time on clinical rotations that should take up all of your energy, or you should be doing something outside to establish a nice balance. If you take your free time doing other things, you're probably not going to do well. If you decide to do research, we do have, currently we have an elective option to go into research. I have one of my residents now doing 1 year of research, another one planning on doing 2 years of research next year. Eventually, I'll probably formalize that into the program, but for now, if you are doing research, I generally do not want you to do moonlighting. If you're going to take a year off or 2 years off to do research, you do research and you get work-life balance, but I don't want you working other things. If there's a particular hardship that you have, we can discuss that and make some adjustments. But generally speaking, I'd like you to work hard, play hard, but not work more than you absolutely have to. A question arises about how do you establish the residents and the fellows from a hierarchy perspective. I think the biggest mistake or difficulty that happens in some programs is either you don't have enough cases for everyone to feel like they're getting their case numbers and competing for cases, which allows for competition either between fellows to fellows or residents to fellows, or
that the faculty sort of pick and choose who they want to work with, or a fellow says, well, I'm a PGY this and you're a resident and that. And I have a very hard line across the board that if you are a senior chief resident and you are a fellow, you are essentially equivalent. And there's no case that a PGY 5 can't do that a fellow can. Conversely, there are, if you're a PGY 4 and you're a senior fellow and there's some uncommon case, there might be some exceptions there, such that the fellow only has a month or so to learn that case, whereas the other one has more than a year. But generally speaking, if you have enough cases, we have multiple sites, so you rarely overlap. And when you do, you have equal hierarchy with totally separate services. And this is not really a concern of ours in this program. There's another question about board preparation. You'll have access to the new VSAP 5. You'll have access to all the textbooks you can shake a stick at. Under normal circumstances, I would send you to review courses that occur across the country. And we also do an oral board prep, both sort of formally from time to time, but informally, such that my last graduate that took the oral boards, I called her and asked her, I said, how did it go? And she said, it was just another day at case conference. And that seems to be all the questions we have for now. I look forward to your application. I read them all. If you get it in on time, I will read it. And I hope to see you on campus someday, either as a trainee or maybe interview in the future. In the meantime, we'll sign off. I want to thank everyone once again for all their help. I couldn't do this without all of the support of the trainees, Susan Blackburn, everybody. Thank you so much.